Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of I'm Just Saying, Don't Take Our Advice. And do we have some great stuff for you to not take our advice on this week? And we're going to title this episode, we're going to name this later because we got a lot of tips for procrastination, at least Apollo does. My tips, we have a busy day coming up, right? I had a busy day today, right? Lots of stuff. How about you, Apollo? What do you got going on?
See, I move tomorrow. I'm supposed to be moving into a new home, and I haven't packed at all. I haven't packed a single thing of mine. I think for some reason I believe that it's just going to show up in my new home, and I'm just going to be like...
magically appear.
It's just like, ta-da, boom, I moved in.
You know, there's supposed to be elves for cobbling shoes, so why not for moving your stuff? I mean...
I'm 100% honest. I was hoping that, like, they showed up kind of like Christmas.
There's a Santa for that. Instead of there's an app for that, there's a Santa for that.
Can we get an app for that?
There's an elf for that.
I need an elf. I need something. You know what? Maybe I just need to have a bunch of kids. One is not enough. One is not moving everything that I need them to move.
Exactly. But in that theory, you should have had these kids years ago so they'd be big enough to move your things for you.
Listen, my genetics are pretty strong. If I would have had these kids last week, they would have came out my size.
Your poor girlfriend. So,
just a kid just kicking out the water.
There's always the option.
My water broke. It's his foot kicking it out. He's just walking. He walking in like.
Do you have a third leg? Oh no, it's just the baby. He's trying to come out already. Foot first, foot. Because your kids would be backwards like that.
My kids just like to kick things out. He's just because for some reason I had an infatuation.
Just like I gotta stick my foot out, see what the weather's like. You know how you dip your toe in the water. You know, just not quite sure yet. So
I feel like the birth of my child would be like every action movie where the guy kicks in the door and just jumps in. That's just like,
here. Where's
so I feel like the birth of my child would just be a kick out of the water, and then he just hops out and he's like, steak.
It'll be like an entrance at the Apollo Theater, you know, big music and fanfare, like I'm here, curtains open and part, and they're just presented on stage with a captive audience.
That's kind of how I came out. I broke my mom's tailbone on the way out too. Which, like, my mom likes to remind me on a daily basis. Like, I get random text messages from my mom of just like, you broke my tailbone, you asshole.
So you owe me. You owe me.
It's like she's having, like, it's a cold day and her butt's starting to hurt. And she's just like, this bastard hurt it.
It's all your fault, Apollo.
Now, how much coffee do you actually drink in the morning?
Currently I only drink about a half a cup to a cup normally. Today notwithstanding, because last night, I had a very busy day today, like I said. I came in to work on one of my other shows this morning. Then I had a funeral service to go to. And then I had to come back here to work on this. And then I have to work my other job tonight. So it's just a busy day for me. So
too many things.
How I prepared for this was I started drinking coffee last night at about 7:30. I had my first cup, like a half a cup then, which kept me up till 3 o'clock this morning, but I was able to prepare for my show for this morning and come up with ideas and stuff for it. So I was doing research. It was productive. So I slept from 3 to 6:30 this morning. So I got a full 3.5 hours of sleep, got up, went and got my daughter to school, and drank some more coffee this morning when I got up, stopped at Starbucks on my way to my other podcast and drink triple shot, because by then I'd work my way up to the triple shot. You got to take steps, people. You start with a half a cup or cup at 7:30 and then work your way up.
No,
by
you go
9 a.m. you're
eye.
drinking the triple shot at Starbucks. I'm just keeping myself, keep it at a nice level. You don't want to chug it all at once. You need to just a couple ounces of sips at a time. Keep it going. They say the best time to start caffeinating yourself is an hour after you wake up, because that's when your body starts producing all this cortisone stuff.
I feel like you're taking too much of a rational thing to drinking coffee.
Oh, this is just years of experience.
Just do straight cocaine. Listen.
Do you know how bad I would just explode? I mean, I'm a hyper high energy person to begin with. Can you imagine if I were to take any kind of caffeine? I have to take in doses as it is. If you
just straight cocaine, you're good for the day. Listen, cocaine solves a lot of issues. it solved baseball issues.
This is why we say don't take our advice, because
I believe that if
I'm just putting this out there, I'm just saying we're not advocating doing drugs. People, don't take Apollo's advice here.
But if you really have a busy day, if you truly have a busy day, and you got to get things done, cocaine might be your best friend. It just might.
It might also cause a heart attack or whatever else, or addiction or whatever.
You know what? If the Wolf of Wall Street did it,
caffeine will cause an addiction too.
Well, you know what? If you don't want to do cocaine, but you really want to get that caffeine just straight into your bloodstream, here's what you do.
Oh, I also took vitamin B12 this morning too.
So you take those coffee grounds, and you just snort them right up.
I do eat coffee beans, like ground up ones, especially mixed with dark chocolate.
You just snort them.
Dark chocolate covered coffee
or
beans
Adderall.
are the best.
Listen, or you get Adderall, you're up for 14 hours.
I know people that swear by Adderall. This is true. Listen, I've never tried it. But
our future leaders passed college with Adderall.
That's how they get through those classes.
I'm going to be 100% honest. Adderall is the reason half of our doctors are doctors. They just take that Adderall. This is why
doctors keep writing out those prescriptions for pain medicine and all this stuff.
What do you think Adderall is? Cocaine.
Pretty much.
Adderall is just a well-defined meaning of cocaine.
So, do you drink coffee? Are you a coffee drinker?
All right. So, coffee and I have a weird life together. So, I used to drink straight black coffee, but you had to get used to that. So you had to drink coffee.
I add cinnamon to my coffee. That's it. Just cinnamon.
Wussy. So
it cuts the bitterness because my brother who lives with me usually makes the coffee and in the morning because he gets up before me.
It makes it super strong.
And he makes Folgers. I think it's Folgers or it's Maxwell House. Whatever it is, it's crap coffee. And so I need the cinnamon to cut the bitterness and the bad taste of it so it tastes better.
I actually want to try that.
But if I'm making coffee, I make Lavazza or Cafe Busto,
Listen,
I
don't like that fancy names. Anyways. No. So coffee and me have a weird thing. So when I was wrestling and was in shape and working out all the time, I drank straight black coffee because it was a great thing to have in the morning. It curbed my hunger. I'd have another cup of straight black coffee around lunchtime because I wasn't eating a lot and I wanted to curb my hunger. It made me feel full and I didn't have to deal with it too much. I'd also drink one right before bed. Then I stopped wrestling because I got hurt. And then I became a UGG-wearing white girl at Starbucks. Someone had...
You're basic? Is that what you're saying?
I became so basic as hell. Now, someone had told me the fantastic life of a Frappuccino and a caramel macchiato.
If you ever had a Frappuccino affogato style, that's where they pour the shot on the top, that extra shot. Oh my gosh. That is if you're drinking a Frappuccino and you have not done this, people, you have not lived.
So... I then started drinking that kind of stuff like every day. Vanilla iced coffee, caramel macchiatos, frappuccinos, just basically like horrible things for you. I gained a lot of weight and I realized I probably need to stop drinking those. So I cut coffee off completely because I tried to go back to black coffee and it's super hard. So what I've done is I've cut coffee off almost completely, except when I'm really tired, I will go to Starbucks and get what we call a red eye. And what a red eye is a full cup of iced coffee, 2 shots of espresso dropped in that piece.
Yep.
Also, I will sometimes, when I'm doing a lot of shows, like I used to do on Sunday, where I would do a show at 4, do a show at this time, wouldn't get home until late, I would then drop 4 shots into that thing. And I would be walking around. And I liked that part where my heart started beating way too fast, and for some reason I felt like I could vibrate through anything.
I think that all coffee drinkers have reached that level at one point or another, right? Even me. It does not take me that much to get there.
You're just sitting in your seat, and I'm just like, oh, I'm vibrating through the seat.
Yes.
I'm going Super Saiyan.
Inside, you feel like all jittery. I've been there, and I have trouble keeping sentences together because I just completely skip words and jump from the beginning of the sentence to the last and think I've said all the words. But
you know what does that
or
every time for
words.
me, though?
Have you ever talked so fast that you just start putting words together?
Yeah. You know what does that to me every time?
What?
Cocaine.
I feel like we need
100% pure Colombian cocaine.
Like Eric Clapton's song.
Yep.
Yep. Today, my
Except
drink
for
of choice
Tears in Heaven, that was
from
pretty sad.
Starbucks is a cinnamon dolce latte grande with an extra shot of espresso in there. That's my current drink of choice.
You are becoming white girl as white girl can be.
Cinnamon dolce? It's not even a macchiato.
What's a dolce?
Sweet?
And Gabbana?
What? No.
Dolce and
Cinnamon
Gabbana?
dolce is like a sweet cinnamon coffee drink. It's just cinnamon and cream is basically. I don't know.
I'm going to try this whole coffee stuff. I'm going to have coffee.
Have you ever had coffee withdrawals, like caffeine withdrawals, where you get the headaches?
No.
When I start getting those from like not drinking coffee when I wake up, that's when I know I need to cut back on my caffeine intake because I'm becoming too dependent on it to the point where it's causing headaches. So I cut back until those go away.
You don't get?
And then I build up my caffeine again.
Never get that from? Cocaine. Now I actually need to.
Oh my gosh.
I'm gonna need coffee. I'm probably gonna do a crazy red eye today with like 4 shots of espresso because I gotta pack everything
in one night because you haven't started yet.
No, it's not gonna be too hard because my girlfriend's not letting me bring anything to the new house.
Well, of course.
Like we're sitting there and I'm just like, well, I would really like to bring my dartboard. She's like, no, dartboard. See, it's because I live in a bachelor pad right now.
Yeah, where there aren't kids.
There's no kid. Like my bed's it's a mattress on the floor.
Is it like metal pointy darts or is it like the plastic tips?
It's plastic tips. It's not a big deal. My metal pointy.
But are you moving to an apartment?
We're moving to a townhouse.
But are you renting it or owning or buying it?
It's complicated.
Okay.
It's a rent to
If it's
own
a rental, then I can understand not wanting a dartboard in it because you can damage the walls a little bit, and that'll, then there goes your deposit.
It's just she's not going to let me have any fun. That's the thing, okay? She's trying to kill my fun right now.
It's not that she's thinking about being safe with the walls. It's that she doesn't want you to have fun.
She cares about me not having fun. Here's the problem. Here's what her exact words were. I already have one kid. I don't need to raise another. And I told her that I'm like an 18-year-old kid. You just need to make sure that I don't throw parties. I'm
sorry, ladies, but any guy in your life, you have a child. No matter what they try to act adult and grown up, no,
they're growing up.
They're still they're acting like a child form that they were. They might have just been one of those like really anal kids that like things neat and clean, or they might, whatever. But they're still a kid. You're gonna have to deal with it in some capacity.
Well, then she tries to bore me with like taking me shopping for lamps. By the way, how many lamps does a place need? And also, here's another quick question. Why are lamps so expensive?
I have 2 lamps in my entire 3-bedroom apartment. I have 2 lamps.
The problem is
3. I take that back. There's one on my daughter's desk.
In the place, our bedroom doesn't have actual lights. So we need a big lamp.
So you do need a lamp,
But
yes.
why are
I've
lamps
got ceiling
so
lights in all my bedrooms.
Why is there so many lamps? Also, why do I need this clock, this giant clock thing in my living room that doesn't even work? It looks nice and I like it. It's art. And I'm just like, it's a clock.
It's not practical.
It's not practical at all. But then also, we have furniture.
It's something else to dust. I mean, that's the way you put it out. Do you want to keep cleaning this every week, dusting it off and polishing it and making sure it looks nice? Is it really worth it, all that work to keep it there? Do you like it that much?
Listen, I'm not going to dust this thing.
Not
Honestly.
you. I meant her. This is how you talk to her about it.
I'm honestly and then on top of that, a lot of her furniture is from her last relationship. So in her mind, that means she needs to get all new furniture for the place and just go, I want to start anew. I was like, why? She's like, do you really want to sleep in the same bed me and him did? I go, honestly, I sleep on a mattress on the floor. I don't care.
See, I could understand the mattress thing. And mattresses,
new
like
sheets.
Every 7 years or so, they should be replaced anyway.
I don't care.
7 to 10
why
years,
do we need to
whatever,
spend money on a whole new thing? I need to spend money on things that matter, like TVs.
Yes, practical things that you'll actually use.
I still don't have a bedroom TV.
Things you'll actually spend a lot of time on. So you need a comfortable couch and a good TV. Is that what you're saying? Because you're going to spend a lot of time on the couch, apparently.
I'm not going to spend a lot of time on that couch. You want to know why I'm not going to spend time on the couch? Because I pay rent too. I'm going to sleep in my bed. What is she going to do? Kick me out? How? I'm bigger than her.
I'm just saying.
She's going to tickle me out.
Women have ways.
I'll push her out of the bed. I don't care.
All right, just to be fair too, earlier I was saying, all men are kids, no matter what. Just to be fair, I am still childlike myself. I have yet to grow up.
I refuse to grow up.
Yeah, like when you stop growing up, that's when you start getting old. So always be growing up and learning. That's my key.
Is this a good idea or not? Because I really don't want to pack, and it just seems that we're buying all new stuff anyways. Should I just light all my stuff on fire and then
it is winter.
just get new stuff?
I say, if you got a safe place to burn it, go for it. I wouldn't burn it inside your apartment or current residence. I would find a nice fire pit or whatever. But yeah, as long as it's not toxic, I think you're okay with doing that.
I think,
especially your sheets. I'm sure they need in gym socks. Go for it.
I need new socks. Actually, that's what I need to go buy today. Because I was honestly going through my laundry and doing my laundry. I don't have any socks. I don't know where socks go.
They disappear. Okay, so the other day I came across this video on Facebook that somebody had posted about some art things that were made out of silverware. And I was like, that's what happens to all your missing silverware. Somebody's stealing your forks and knives and spoons and turning it into art projects. And I'm like, maybe this explains where all the socks are going. I swear, people, we are going to see a video on Facebook sometime soon that's going to be some sort of weird thing that somebody did with used socks, like old socks and whatever that were missing the other half. This is why your socks are missing from your dryer. They're not going to sock heaven. Somebody has got some sort of machine that sucks your socks through the dryer vents and takes them and is creating puppets or something out of socks. We're going to figure this out. This is going to be...
100% honest. I just want to make enough money in my life so I can buy a new pair of socks and underwears every 2 weeks.
Right.
Because nothing is better than putting on...
fresh pair of socks or underwear. Yes, I can agree.
The underwear don't ride up. They're not worn. They don't have that weird...
The elastic isn't stretched out yet.
Oh, yeah. They don't have that weird crinkle where it kind of looks like you've been frying up your underwear like bacon.
I have not seen that happen to my underwear yet, but I'll take your word for it.
No, just take a look at like the elastic band. As they get used up, because the elastic gets stretched out, they end up kind of looking like cooked bacon.
I have seen that on men's underwear. I've never seen that happen to my underwear, but there's a different kind of elastic band on women's underwear. It's not as wide. I think that's why.
Females' underwear is a lot better than guys' underwear.
Oh, I'm sure.
I'm going to be 100% honest. Like, I really think it's
women
better.
wear it because they like to feel good and nice materials and stuff. Guys, it's just a practical thing.
Except for a thong.
You just need something. No, yeah, those are never comfortable. Those are all totally for visual.
One girl told me, she's like, I actually like a thong. I was like, that's a lie.
I like it if I'm wanting to avoid panty lines. That's like, but
I feel like that's a lie. Yeah, the girl told me, she's like, oh, I like a thong. It's comfy. I was like, that means you do dirty stuff. If you're wearing a thong every day and you actually think it's comfortable, not because you've gotten used to it, kind of like that weird wedgie that guys will
went through a stage where that's all I wore.
What?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, but it was because I didn't want panty lines to show. Now I don't care. I want to be comfortable, so I don't care.
Were you working in an environment where you didn't want your panty lines to show?
Yes.
That's why.
Yeah, so...
That's why. It's not because you chose that life. You didn't choose. You're not a freaking dentist, wearing a giant lab coat where no one can see your panty lines if you wanted to. No, you didn't choose that life. You did it for practical reasons. I understand the thong for practical reasons.
I was managing a certain store for adult couples.
You managed a Lover's Lane?
Yes, I did.
Oh my God, Jinx! You dirty minx. I feel so awkward when I go into Lover's Lane.
A lot of people do. And it's funny, like when you work there, it becomes second nature and that people are feeling awkward. There's only one. No, I'll take that back. There were a couple times, I won't lie, that were uncomfortable. But there was one guy that would call like every other week wanting to know if we sold women's underwear and if we had them in plus sizes and then he'd ask if he could come in and try them on, and we'd always be like, nope, and this was back a while back, and we're like, no, if you want, you have to purchase them or whatever, if you try, kind of thing. And he never came into the store. He would just call, and we all knew the voice, and like caller ID would show up, and we're like, oh no, and it's this guy again. You answered. I'm not getting it. It's the same questions every time. So that was one of the strange things, but you got used to. The other thing that made it super awkward was working in one, and the power went out. 5 minutes to close, this guy came in, is asking about lubricants and all these questions about them, but in a really creepy way, wanting to know if we had a room where he could watch movies or videos, which they do not. They don't have this. They're not shady like that. And and then the power goes out down the entire street 5 minutes before the store is closing, and it's just me and this guy in the store, and I'm like, you need to leave, the power's out, and he's like, oh, but I still want to buy stuff. I'm like, no. Gave him some free samples, and he's still like asking questions. I'm like, you need to go. And then luckily my boyfriend at the time came into the store to pick me up from work that night, and right as this was going on, and the guy finally left. But that was the only time I ever felt like uncomfortable and really like just like, oh crap kind of thing. I think somebody else was working with me that night, it was the same thing. It was just, yeah. But other than that, it was a really fun environment to work. It was really fun.
I don't see that being. All right, I've been to Lover's Lane quite a few times, and every time I go in there and they give me like way too much information to the question that I asked.
That's because we are well informed.
And it's just like, and then I end up going like, you can do that?
Well, here's the thing. You work there so long, you're selling stuff, so everybody knows if you buy something, right? Because somebody else has to ring you up. So, of course, then you come in and they're like, did you use it yet? What was it like? You know, like kind of things like that.
One person asked me, all right, I got something for like an anniversary thing, and I was like, well, this would be fun. And then they're like, and I go back in for something else, and they're like, so how was it? And I was just like...
Just think of them as your sex therapist. That's all.
Part of me kind of wants to just go like, it was great. I put the leg up like this. Like, it was ridiculous. And then...
the swings, we would climb up in them just for fun, just to sit and chill.
Ew.
Like, just to hang out, literally. But no, it was like,
policy.
no pun intended, man.
The no return
Yeah,
policy.
there's no return on this stuff. We don't want to see it again. When I worked there. But yeah, it was
the
just
no
fun.
return policy is the funniest thing I've ever seen in my entire life at that place. And I was like, so obviously I can't return this. And they're like, no.
We don't want to see it again.
It's like, this is final. Like, you bring that back, we burn it.
Yeah.
You're not getting your money back either, sir.
Yeah.
I feel like a Lover's Lane is...
Just because you and your girlfriend broke up does not mean...
That butt plug needs to come back, sir. The amount of butt plugs that were purchased.
Like, this is why you should bring your significant other with you to the store if you're unsure if they're going to like what you're getting, to make sure you're not wasting your money on expensive
I feel like an idiot.
if it's an expensive purchase.
I bought lingerie for my girlfriend at Lover's Lane, and I was so proud of myself because I picked out one that she had told me she liked, and I felt very proud. I was like, who's a good guy? This awesome thing for her, and guarantee she'll like it. And then I get home, and I'm like, hey, baby. And then she goes, oh, look what I just bought. And I was like, same exact one. Well, that was a waste of $50.
At least you knew you were on the right track with knowing her style and what she liked.
I was just like, can you wear both at the same time? Just to make me feel good about what's about to happen.
Maybe you could wear one.
Nah, we don't wear the same size.
Darn it.
No, we're nowhere. I got a few rules about dating. One, we can't wear the same size. Two, we can't weigh the same. And three, I have to be able to pick you up.
It's a good plan. My ex-boyfriend and I almost weighed the same.
It's weird.
Well,
also...
Yeah. Well, then you're always worried, like, what if he loses weight? Then I'm going to be the heavy one in the couple.
The reason I have these rules is because, one, I'm over 400 pounds.
Really? I would not be.
Yeah, a lot of people can't tell. I carry it very well. I hopefully will be under 400 soon, but I'm over 400. I squat quite a bit of weight. I think I'm maxed out at 410 or something like that, around there. And I wear a size 4X tall. So there's not a lot of women near that size.
No,
let's say even I lost weight.
But there are a lot of men that wear women's clothing now, so you would think that there'd be a bigger market for at least...
A bigger market for bigger women?
No pun intended. Again. Anyway.
I got a lot of leeway. Even if I lost weight. So my girl, I told her those rules.
Really stretchy fabrics.
I told my girl those rules, and she goes, well, if you lose weight. I'm like, if I lose weight, I'm still going to be over 300 pounds. Like, there's no world where Apollo lost weight, and he's like, oh, I'm 180 pounds now. That's not happening. That is not a thing. That's not a place.
That's not where you're trying to get to.
I want to meet 180-pound Apollo.
Would that be amazing?
He looks like Skeletor.
I would.
Just he looks like he's straight from the Dallas Buyers
If I
Club.
met 400-pound Jinx, I'd be like, you really did eat all the ice cream you could ever handle. I mean, like, that's my dream. You are living the dream. I am so jealous. I do eat lots of ice cream. I want a
600-pound life.
600-pound life.
I want
what is that? Lifetime that does
I see that show, 600-pound life, and when I watch it, sometimes I just go like, do they have 2 legs or 4?
Where does the torso end and the legs start?
I don't know. It scares me.
Did you ever watch What's Eating Gilbert Grape?
No, I never saw that.
Oh, that's the level of like, you ate happy when they can't get and you die and they can't get your body out, so they have to just burn the whole house down. That's the food eater's dream, like
that
the foodie's
is no
dream.
one's dream, by the way. I don't want to be buried with a thing.
This Hashtag eating goals.
Goal. You know what eating goals are? When they can make soap taste as good as it smells.
Yeah, well,
and Tide packets
and not be lethal. No, I think
as they look.
Tide
packets look delicious. I can understand why that's a thing.
Go on with the Tide packets because they're bright colors. Teenagers are stupid. I feel like there's this whole Tide epidemic. If you guys haven't seen this yet on Facebook or whatever, there's like this whole, or the news, there's this new Tide pack challenge where people are like biting into these Tide Pods, right?
Try it.
No, thank you.
I think it's a good thing to try.
I feel like the problem here is that we have a generation of kids whose mouths were never washed out with soap. Therefore, they don't realize how bad soap tastes until they bite into it. It's disgusting, people. It may smell good. It may look pretty. It is not going to taste that way. They need to start making soaps that smell horrible so that people don't want to eat them.
But then you smell
horrible. There's people eating yeah, exactly. That's the problem. There's no good thing. But we need to stop making soap smell like fruits and stuff and pies, lemon meringue pie or
How do you think I'm supposed to get big girls? If I don't smell like a pie, listen, that is like me peacocking. That's how I attract them. I just walk near a Planet Fitness and they just flock out
like
to me.
Sage or something.
No, I walk by Planet Fitness and I just smell like an apple pie. An apple pie and garlic bread, and they just hop out of there.
That's a combination, apple pie and garlic bread.
Like the truffle pigs they are. God, I'm so joking. Guys, if you're into the chubby girls, use Axe body spray chocolate. They will eat you up, sir.
Have you had any luck, honestly, with the Axe body sprays?
Yes, chocolate. I love that.
I don't think
that was my scent in high school. The reason it was my scent in high school, I
didn't even know Axe had a chocolate.
Yes, so they had chocolate Axe, and here's why it was my scent. Because I looked like chocolate. I smelled like chocolate. I was really working hard on trying to taste like chocolate. I didn't get there yet.
You didn't go to Lover's Lane, obviously, and buy the right lotions.
No, well, I heard there were condoms, but I could never find them.
They did have them, but those were the worst tasting.
The chocolate
kind. Oh, they're horrible.
When you were there, did you just try condoms?
Nothing. Honestly, all right. So when we'd get bored, because there'd be nobody in there, it'd be like one of the girls would be like, "I wonder what these taste like." And like this literally happened one day, and she just started opening them up. And practicing putting them on her thumb or whatever and tasting it and tasting these and and evaluating each flavor, and chocolate was the worst one. Banana was the best, according to her. I never was one for the flavored stuff because that at least for that, because you got that lubricant taste to it, which is just it's not good.
Listen, man, from me to you, condoms are overrated. Pull out. If you're a real man, the pull-out method is the only method that works.
Oh my gosh! I'm saying that's only advisable in a long-term relationship.
No, it's not.
STDs can still be transmitted.
STDs
with the pull-out method.
Just take penicillin and you're good to go.
I'm allergic to penicillin.
Well, then Jinx, use condoms.
So far, advice for people: if you're moving, just burn all your old stuff and just buy new stuff for your new place.
I feel like you give the best advice, and I'm the one sitting here. Just
drink
like,
lots of coffee to pre-game the night before
cocaine.
with your caffeine to build up your energy level for the next day. Or according to Paulo, do coke. I'm not saying that.
Lots and
I'm
lots
just saying,
of cocaine.
I think that's a bad idea.
No, listen. If it is good enough for the Wolf of Wall Street,
I mean, then there's.
Listen, George Bush did cocaine in college. Okay.
And he used to have a really high IQ of 124. What do you think it was after all that?
No, that was
Look
after
at
the
him
booze.
as president.
It was after the booze because he was an alcoholic.
It
all right.
Combined
yes,
kills your brain
you can't
cells.
combine booze and cocaine.
You got to pick one poison.
Cocaine.
Is that what you're saying? So Apollo's advice there: you got to pick one poison or the other. People, you can't have both.
You can't put a depressant and a stimulant in the same boat. It is bad. This is why you don't smoke weed and do cocaine either. You just do cocaine.
Yes.
It was all the rage in the 80s, and it's going to be all the rage in 2018.
And
Trust me.
Other bit of advice is wait till the last minute to do things. Don't plan ahead. Like, just go for it. Just like, tomorrow he's got to move. He's going to be like up all night doing his packing.
Cocaine.
Or burning, as we said.
Lots and lots of cocaine.
And as far as Tide Pods go, I advise parents start washing your kids' mouths out with soap so they know how bad it tastes so they don't attempt this challenge later on.
Jinx.
Apollo.
Just eat them. Make them delicious.
Just make them taste as good as they,
or add a little
smell
garlic.
And not be deadly
Just add
poisonous.
garlic. Here's what you're gonna do.
You're not...
I'm gonna help them out.
Make them clean your system out. Maybe put some antibiotics or something that'll kill off like whatever diseases your kids are bringing home these days.
Children, okay? Listen, it's old wives' tale. You just need to crack some garlic.
Garlic's a good antioxidant, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a great.
So are blueberries, though.
Blueberries, but that's a fruit. Who wants fruit? I put garlic on bread and I'm delicious. Carbs for days.
So you want garlic flavored Tide Pods? Then your clothes are going to smell like garlic.
I'm cool with that. Listen,
I think you think America is obese now. You start having people smell like garlic bread. Everybody's gonna be eating pasta 24/7, and or maybe it would be a good idea because maybe people will get so sick of it that they won't ever want to eat
What's the best smell
Italian
in the world?
again.
All right, if you go up to a man and you give him a hug, all right, let's say your man, your boy toy, whatever you want to call him, boyfriend, fiance, lover, anything. I don't know what he is to you right now. I'm just naming.
He's something.
He's something. He's a person.
He's a person. He's there.
I love you, Matt. So you go up to him and you hug him. What would you rather have him smell like? Garlic bread or crappy ass cologne? That Polo cologne.
Oh, nobody likes Polo. That's like a horrible choice there.
Okay, fine. Good cologne. What's good cologne?
Is there such thing?
I don't know. But
there are some guys that smell good, but I think a lot of times I find natural scents like if they have a good natural scent, it's good. But if they smell like if they have a bad musk smell, then it's bad. I think it's a natural pheromone thing. If it's a person you're attracted to, you'll like the way they smell, and if you're not, then you're not going to like the way they smell, and it's like you just never know.
I think straight garlic bread would be the best smell ever. You just hug on them, and you're like. Home cooking.
I don't know.
And your senses will be so.
You know what? I like
heightened.
to eat a lot. I love eating. I love
and
food.
How
I'm
much
like
would
a
you love your
constant
man to
eater.
smell like
I eat
that?
all the time. So I think if my man smelled like garlic bread, then I would be like, every time he'd run, I'd be like, ooh, I'm hungry. Let's go get something to eat. I'd be like, hold that thought. I'm going to run to the kitchen. Okay.
And that's
I'm
how
like,
you keep
hey,
him.
babe, can you go? I just was thinking, can you go get me some food from the kitchen? That'd be like pretty much it. That would be the end of everything else. It would just be all about eating at that point.
And that's how he keeps
eating
you.
Food.
He fattens you up so you can never go out. And then it's 600 pounds.
Now nobody else will watch you. You're 600-pound Jinx. You can't leave.
And then now, boom, Jinx on 600-pound lifetime. Circle. Brought that back.
Jinx dies of a heart attack in her bed. They can't get her out. They burn the house down and start fresh new with a new life. New you.
I don't think you're a phoenix.
Not with me. I mean, like...
We just keep starting new things. I wish that's how things worked. I just die and get turned back into old, like a baby version of me.
Like you screw up really bad and like make all bad choices and you die and then you come back and be like, well, that was stupid. Let's try this again.
I'm going to be 100% honest. I want to recreate the Big Bang, and I don't know how.
Oh, you know what books you should read that you might enjoy because
I read
of that?
books.
It's not your normal books, but
Jinx,
it's the Thursday
Jinx.
Next series. It's a literary detective. She goes into books and solves literary crimes.
Let me help you out, Jinx. I went to a technical college.
She has a pet dodo bird.
I went to a technical college
And
for
her
a reason.
dad travels through time with pink goo and recreates the big.
This could be. This
Sorry.
is Doctor Who season 5,
Oh, that was a horrible season of Doctor Who.
where he turned
The Pandorica. I hate that season.
That was a great season.
That was sucky.
You're
The
sucky.
only thing good about that was fezzes are cool. The other than the
Fezzes are cool. So are bow ties.
the whole Pandorica thing.
And
I
Rory
did
and
not
Amy
like.
are the best people.
No, it goes Donna, then Rose, then
Hold on, you're gonna put Donna in front of.
Bill. Donna is fantastic.
You're
love
not gonna
Donna.
put Donna ahead of Rory and Amy.
Yes, I am. Donna's number one.
No, one. It is how it goes, and how dare you ever spew that out of your mouth again? Okay, one. It goes Rose. Okay, Rose is number one.
Rose was my number one until I fell. In
I
love
don't
with Dr.
care
Donna.
what you say about Dr. Donna. Dr. Donna was awesome. She's top 5 dead or alive, but she is not number one. It's number one, Rose.
It would be a toss up between Rose and Donna at the
Number one,
most.
Rose. Number 2,
I love
Rory
Rose.
and Amy. Number 3, Claire.
Oh, now
Oswald.
come on! You're putting Claire Oswald ahead of Donna.
Yes.
Oh, you've just
Number-
lost all credibility with
Number
any
4,
real Doctor Who
Donna.
fan right now.
And
I'm just
honestly,
saying.
it's between Donna and Claire Oswald for that number 3 spot. So, and I just like Claire a little bit better.
You better not put Martha before Bill.
What? Martha?
Martha. So
Oh,
you don't
man,
even
I'm not putting-
remember
I'm not-
Martha.
Was
Oh,
Martha
that's
the-
how bad Martha is.
Was Martha the black girl?
Yes, the other black girl.
Oh man,
'Cause
there's
Bill
just-
is the other-
Bill's
the
new
newer
one.
one,
New
yeah.
one. I hated Martha. Couldn't stand Martha.
I hate Martha so much. I think the problem with Martha is that they were trying too hard to make her like Rose. You know, 'cause
You can't make her like
and
Rose.
being
And also, this is
infatuated
what
with the doctor.
this is what
no,
annoyed
this
me.
is the
Martha
traveling with the
had
doctor
died.
is not about being in love with the doctor in
Martha
a romantic
died.
way. She didn't die.
Yes, she did. If anybody looks at
Oh
the
yeah,
older
and
season,
with the I know what you're talking about.
she went and
with
hooked up.
Rose. Yeah, she was typing in the computer
She died.
for that. Yeah, she died in that one. You're correct. You're
She
correct. And that was one of the
died.
things. But whoever was directing liked her and decided to write her in as the new thing. No, she died. But then again, Peter Capaldi.
But but they explained why he chose that fate.
that form. Yeah,
Why he chose that fate. Now, my second favorite.
And man, how do we go from bad advice to dissecting
Because
Doctor
it's bad
Who?
advice for you. Put Donna as the number one companion.
I'm advising people to rewatch Doctor Who and make your decision. Is Donna better than?
No, it's not even. I love Donna. Donna is awesome.
All right.
She is top 5.
If you people are still listening to
River
this
Song is
podcast at
number
this
5,
time,
though.
if you people
River
are
Song is
still
number 5, though.
listening to this podcast at this point, I want you guys to leave in your comments. What is your ranking for the Doctor's companions from the new series? We're not going to get into Ramona and all that from the old.
If you want to bring those, then Rory, Amy drop on the
and,
list, and so does Rose, because there were some great companions back in the day.
Sarah Jane. We're not counting them. We're not counting from the
Sarah
old
Jane
series.
can technically count.
She wasn't a companion in this. She was just in a couple episodes. She wasn't a companion traveling with the Doctor in these.
Can Mickey be considered a companion?
I think so.
And then also Captain
Jack Harkness.
Jack Harkness. Can he be considered a companion?
I don't think so. I mean, he just was there. I think he's just a friend of the Doctor. I
But
don't
he
think
traveled
a
with
companion.
him.
Once or twice, but it wasn't.
No, it was like a half a season. And he was the face of
show
Bo.
up places.
And he was the face of Bo.
Yeah, now you've just ruined Doctor Who for anybody who hasn't watched yet.
Oh my God, they came out 5-10 years ago. Listen, guys, you don't know that he's a face of Bo. He can eat rocks. Kiss my big black.
Oh my gosh! All right, well, I think on that note, we should
Tell the audience to
wrap
kiss
it
him.
up.
You know what? Remember, audience,
I'm
condoms
just,
are for chumps.
don't eat Tide Pods
unless you add garlic to it.
And either drink lots and lots of coffee to prep yourself for the next day's busy
Cocaine.
day. or don't listen to Apollo.
Do a lot of cocaine.
That's
Want a
my
party?
advice. I'm just saying, don't take our advice. We'll be back next week with our next episode and some more bad advice that you definitely shouldn't listen to.
And more cocaine.